Guys, let's talk about last night's episode of Homeland. A lot was going on. Some of it kind of crazy. Some of it kind of like, why do we keep talking about this stuff? But let's get to it. So we basically pick up where we left off with Carrie in this room with Javadi, and she's doing a polygraph, and he's testing her out to see if she is, being honest and truthful with him. And we quickly find out that he's like, he's asking her all these questions and he doesn't trust her. He doesn't believe that she's being honest. He kicks half of the people out of the room and she basically confronts him and says, listen, I know that you have stole like $45 million and you're blaming it on some Iranian soccer player. And basically the jig is up and we're on to you. And then he like takes her out of this room and they go outside and they start talking, and he's basically like, how long have you and Saul been working on this plan? And she's like, since the day after you guys bombed the CIA. And she's like, and don't think you're going to get away with anything because we've got you surrounded. So they plan to have this meet, and this is where I get a little confused. So I'm not really sure why he decides that he doesn't, like, he wants to surrender. I'm not sure why he wants to give himself into Saul. And Saul and him have a past. So it was interesting to hear him say stuff like, oh, I see Saul is up to his old tricks. He's basically getting other people to come out in front of him. And, it's like this interesting exchange, and it obviously opens up a new door to a relationship that Javadi had with Saul back in the day. And basically, Javadi had asked Saul to bring over like 4 people, and then Javadi, like, it's weirdly complicated. Javadi ended up killing these 4 people. He basically lied to Saul, and this was how he was able to become like the second in command. And then Saul, in revenge, took his wife and brought her to America, like 4 months later or something like that. And so a couple episodes we saw Javadi sitting there. Actually, it was in the last episode. We saw him sitting in a car watching this girl play with this boy, and we didn't really know what it was about. And it turns out that the little boy was his grandson, and it was like the ex-wife was living in this house, and I guess it was her daughter's kid. And right after, he plans his meet with Carrie, he veers off course. He goes to this house, and he takes this, like, this woman opens the door, and he basically shoots her in the head. Then he takes his ex-wife, he breaks a bottle, and just starts stabbing her to death in the neck. It's really gruesome and gross. And I'm still kind of like wondering what the heck is going on. It was almost like they were throwing out all this backstory and this origin on the relationship between Saul and Javadi, and like why he's like the number 2 guy. And so it was a little bit complicated, but it was like, dude, what the hell is going on? So Carrie and Quinn come in, they draw their guns, and they basically take him in. They take him to this safe house, interrogation room, where they're going to now interrogate Javadi. And Saul's there, and, Javadi's basically like, you don't look like a guy who just caught his number, like the most powerful man. And then he just like, boom, like pops him up in the nose, and he just ends up sitting on the ground, and Saul's just staring down at him, and he's like, the camera shoots up at him like this, Saul's in this position of power. It's kind of a cool scene. But there was like a lot of stuff that I was kind of like, I think I need to go back and watch this episode again, because there was a lot of stuff going on. So basically Javadi's a real bad guy, and he's a number 2, and he's basically been stealing from his own people. Like, he's been stealing from Iran and framing it on like this soccer player. And so she's basically like, we know all about you, and we've been planning this and all this kind of stuff. So it was an interesting episode, and there was a lot going on. Was it my favorite? I don't know, but it definitely upped the ante. Then we had some stuff that I'm obviously not a fan of, which is Dana. And she decides she wants to change her last name, and she no longer wants to be Dana Brody. She wants to be something, her mom's maiden's last name. And they go, and it's a really kind of like sad scene because she goes with her mom to get this her name changed, and the guy, so they do it all, and the guy basically says, yeah, you know, you seem like a really sweet girl, and you take after your mom. And then he's basically like, you know, I feel really bad for you. Would you guys mind if I pray for you? So it's almost to say, it doesn't matter if you change your name, everybody's going to know who you are because your father is so infamous. He's a fugitive, and you're never going to be able to come out of the shadow of that. So again, it was kind of sad. But then again, it was annoying because it's like, do I care about Dana? I don't. Then we had this scene where she ends up leaving and taking off with some girl who we've never seen before. And she's like, oh, this is my friend. I'm like, what friend? We've never seen you with this girl before. And she ends up leaving, and she basically says goodbye to her mom, and it's all teary-eyed. I'm like, all I kept thinking was, good riddance. Like, go, please. I cannot take you as a character anymore on this series. You're driving me crazy. And then her brother, Chris, is just standing there. Hello? Does Chris even have a personality? I don't know because I've never seen it. Like, he's either in the shadow, he's in the kitchen, he's playing a video game. I mean, he has no personality. Anyway, so then we, sorry, we also get this very interesting scene with Dara Dahl and the senator. And he's about to become the director in about 12 days. And he basically reiterates what he said in the last episode, which was, change is coming. I don't want any more Brody, no more Carrie, no more Saul surprises. I'm basically going to, like, you know, clean shop, and you know, I need you to sort of be my support system in all this, because he's basically saying enough already with what you guys have been trying to do, and we're now going to try things my way. So it'll be very interesting once he actually takes office and becomes a director, and see where that goes. But I left out one major part, which was that Carrie is pregnant. And the reveal is kind of cool because she goes into the bathroom, she peels open this plastic case, and you know, obviously she pees on a stick, and my whole thought was, what, she's pregnant? We see a positive sign, and then she opens this drawer, and there's probably like 20 pregnancy tests already in the drawer, which obviously say positive. So she just keeps taking them over and over again, hoping that it'll just say negative. It was pretty funny. But again, going, is this Brody's baby? Is this the dude that she hooked up with on her staircase? Like, I mean, obviously it's Brody's baby, but what? Oh God. Like, oh my goodness. Anyway, guys, stay tuned for next week because we know it's going to be crazy. All right, that's all I got. See ya.